Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bohn and Zano Zone podcast. Before we get started and introduce our guest today, we want to thank Chuck Gardner and Bowl for Life and Bulge.com. Thank you guys so much. First off, hope you guys are staying safe wherever you are, wherever you guys are watching. But before we get into our show today, Mike, we have a really special announcement.
Yeah, we have some special news, and we're going to let Justin take this one because this is near and dear to his heart. So, Justin, take it away.
So, obviously, with tournaments not being ran anywhere in the world right now, we want to announce that the 21st annual Parker Bohn III Junior Scholarship Tournament, for those of you who are watching, will be Labor Day weekend this year, the first 4-day weekend event that we've ever ran, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So for those of you who are interested, stay tuned. It's definitely going to be a big one. There's going to be more information coming, but save the date, mark your calendar, September 4th to the 7th. It's definitely going to be a great one this year.
It will be. It was great last year. And Justin, you know who led qualifying in the first ever Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament 20 years ago?
Can I guess Mike Val?
You are absolutely correct. I was the leader 20 years ago. So it's a great tournament. I had a lot of fun last year working in the booth with you guys, and Chuck Gardner was there. We had the dunk tank in the parking lot, the barbecue to party. It's a great time. So hopefully we're up and running in Jersey by then. And yeah, man, looking forward to it again.
All right, Mike, go ahead and introduce our guest for today.
All right, so this is another first here in the Bohn and Zano show. Today's guest, or I'm going to say today's guests, plural, the world-renowned bowling internet sensations. They are the founding fathers of vlogging in the bowling world. They started their own YouTube channel. They have a camera on them on the road following their every move on tour. And basically in other events, whatever they want to do. They have a cult following in the bowling world, and they give back to the bowling world with all the giveaways they have on their site. Both of these men are members of the PBA League, and hopefully we will be back out on the lanes in no time at all. It is my pleasure to welcome to the zone the world-famous Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman, otherwise known as Brad and Kyle. Gentlemen, welcome to Zone.
You know, you could have stopped the world-famous Brad Miller. I mean, that's all you needed.
Every time. Always starts with a slight. I don't understand.
You know, we're still new to the thing, so, you know, we'll pick your brain later on how to properly introduce somebody of your level to the show next time, okay? You know, we had Chris Barnes on last week, and I did his big intro for Barnes, and he said I would be his personal hype man in the future. So if it was good enough for Barnes, it should be good enough for you guys, right?
That was great.
That's the nicest intro we've had so far. We've done a few podcasts or other shows, and that's the nicest one. So I appreciate it.
I'm a nice guy. What can I say, you know?
So first off, how's quarantine going for you guys? How are you guys staying active during this terrible time?
Go ahead, Brad. You're first.
I'm first.
Yep.
I'm doing what everyone else is doing, man. Justin, you on the Call of Duty? You on the sticks? You gotta be on the sticks. Come on, you're in that demographic. You're 20. How old are you? 18, 17?
17. I just turned 17 last month.
You gotta be a Call of Duty player.
I play Fortnite. I don't really play Call of Duty. I don't play a whole lot of games normally.
Me neither.
So I just don't have the time for it. So this has really brought out a lot of my gaming, but I don't really. I've been painting shoes is what I've been doing.
Painting shoes?
Yeah, I just got into some shoe painting. I actually painted a pair or two of bowling shoes that I had, which was really cool. And I'm going to start my new project once I get home, hopefully this week.
Brad looks a little confused on that one.
I've never heard of that.
So, yeah, I'm going to try and start that up too. It's hopefully going to be a good time.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I've been chilling. I've been trying to stay active. I've been going on runs at night, but it ain't working because I'm eating terrible. Because my family, you know, they just love to cook everything, and they love to have every sort of sweet possible, and I'm addicted to sugar. So it's not a good, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know. It's kind of been time off, really. It seemed like, I don't know, I want to say decent timing, but like at least we got most of the tour season in, but by the time that we had to go home, we were pretty spent energy wise. So it was like probably 3 weeks of just kind of like downtime, resting, kind of figuring out what the heck we're going to do. And then probably like a month and a half, 2 months of just trying to piece together. We've been doing a lot of these live streams. People are going to be sick of us, actually. Yeah, they might be sick of Kyle, you know.
Of course, there it is.
Oh. And what about you, Mr. Sherman? What have you been doing to stay active in this time?
Yeah, I just been I was exercising a little bit, going on a lot of bike rides, trying to spend some time in nature, away from people for the most part. But other than that, yeah, just been doing mostly what everyone else has been doing. Luckily, I just started bowling yesterday for the most part. I did some bowling probably a week ago now, 2 weeks ago, a couple days, but like starting to practice more. We actually have some tournaments coming up in the St. Louis area, which is kind of crazy to think about in the quarantine phase. But now I'm starting to bowl, getting back into the swing of things, and let me tell you, it's not good right now, guys.
How much tape did you have to use yesterday?
The break was awful. Like I think I bowled for an hour today. I posted like 3 shots. It was rough. But yeah, and just trying to get back into the swing of things, starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. So
was this like the longest you guys have been away from the lanes? I'm bearing an injury, like just long.
Yeah, without injury for sure.
I mean, I'm good. Well, we're going 2 months now. Is it 2 months? Roughly?
Yeah.
It was like early March.
I've thrown the ball once.
Ooh. All right. So we had a couple people wanted to ask some questions here. So one of our guests, they had a question, and we'll start with this one. What's your favorite sport outside of bowling, guys? I mean, nothing's going on now, but
yeah,
what would your,
it's
I know what yours is.
Basketball. Yeah, mine's basketball 100%. Actually, I probably like that more than bowling, in all honesty. But yeah, no doubt. If I can play, if I can watch it, whatever, study it, I'm in. So
who's your guy?
I'm a Kobe fan. I'm Kobe all the way. No doubt.
Right.
Kobe, die hard.
All right. So Brad's wrinkling his face there. Obviously, we have a debate here.
I thought you were going to say LeBron for some
That's
reason.
what I thought too.
I decided.
Hell no.
I should know better.
And Mr. Miller?
My favorite sport to play is soccer. I keep up with golf the most, though. I watch it on a weekly basis, and I love to play it. So to watch, probably golf, and to play, but my heart is with soccer.
See the big golf match with Tiger and Phil and Peyton Manning and Brady. That's going to be good to watch. See, that's
so cool.
That is cool, and they should do something like a bowling spin. That would be great, having like 2 legends and maybe like a Mookie Betts or like a Jerome Bettis, maybe, and raise some money for charity. That would be. Justin, get your father on that. Let's get Parker Walker on.
Only we knew a legend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk to Walter and forget your father. Watch the
Yeah, he's washed up.
Listen, he bowls league with us, all right. And this is my hand to God. Parker is a solid 215 in league. I'm not kidding. I'm dead serious. All right, so
how's that possible?
How is that possible? He stepped off the plane. This is the true story, and Justin will vouch for this one. He got back from the
Ballmaster in Germany.
He came back from Europe, and he got home that morning. He had 3 bowling balls with him. He had 2 balls that were blasted like 360 probably.
Yeah, and a spare ball.
That's all he had on him. So he comes into bowl, and he had 311 for the first 2. Meanwhile, there's a guy bowling 2 pairs to the right of us who he's a lefty, just like Parker. He's a 14-time regional winner. He's a good player. And he had shot 300 with a target zone the first game. In game 3, he switched to an original black angle and shot 300 again. And here's Parker just trying to grind out 6-0. So
he's got a long ways to go to grind out 6-0.
He's trying to 550.
Oh my God, it was painful to watch. Like you bury the guy in the 2-hole. You're burying a 40-time titleist in the 2-hole. What a disgrace. But the saving grace is we bowl with the real Bohn. Leslie, mom, bowls on our team. And she is the one who, she's the real Bohn in the family. No offense to you, Justin, or your brother, but.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's that Wichita pedigree,
Yeah.
Are you going to go to Wichita? What school are you going?
It's still up in the air. I want to go to school for film of some sort. I haven't really decided that a whole lot yet. Trying to start doing things, learning things. Got my own YouTube channel too. Trying to follow after you guys, me and Brandon are. So I want to go somewhere related to film. Obviously, Scads, I got my eyes on them too. Wichita being in my blood, I got my eyes on them. So still up in the air. was supposed to have a visit in April, but everything got canceled. So on to our next question. You guys have probably one of the biggest following on the internet with YouTube, vlogs, and so on. So tell us, how did the idea come about? What was it about? And basically, how did you guys come about having a camera roll all the time when you guys were on the road? How did Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman become Brad and Kyle?
Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of a combined effort between us and our buddy Mike Flanagan. We were first getting out on tour. We wanted to find ways to kind of promote ourselves. We were pretty low on the totem pole as far as on ball companies in the PBA. So we knew we weren't going to get promoted at that time. So we wanted to figure out a way to promote ourselves, help grow our brand, develop something, and then try to get our buddies and develop a system so we can just promote other people as well. And then we were talking with our buddy Mike, and he's really big in he stays up to date with current trends, and it's just always on the ball. And he's like, man, you guys should just start a YouTube channel. And we're like, I didn't even really watch YouTube that much at that time. I didn't know what vlogging was. I really didn't know much about it, nothing. And then we kind of contemplated the idea, and I remember we were on a car ride to some tournament. We were like, yeah, let's do it. So basically we started, had no idea what we were doing, didn't know how to film, didn't know how to edit. We were filming with our phones, and then we were doing it the wrong way. We weren't doing it landscape. We were doing it this way. And there's got the black edges on the side. And I know our first vlog first couple vlogs had to have taken us 10 hours to edit, because
it was 15.
we're trying to edit, and then we're also YouTubing how to edit at the same time. It was miserable, but basically, yeah, that was the start of it. And then we just taught ourselves, and now it kind of is what it is. We're definitely still no experts, but
just to interrupt real quick, the second vlog we ever made was in Lubbock, Texas, and we had a 12-hour drive back to St. Louis. And we filmed that whole weekend, and it took us every bit of that 12 hours on the car ride home. We get back to St. Louis. It's still not done. At 9 a.m. the next morning, we call Flanagan, and we're like, hey, man, we need some help. We want to review this video. You want to help us? And he did. At 9 a.m., he helped us. And then we probably took us another couple hours to kind of finish it, and then we put it out at noon. So the second vlog took us 14, 15 hours of total work, which is absolutely insane.
And now they probably take they're way better now, and they probably take us tops 2 hours, tops.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, we wish we could do that. You got to teach us how to get to that point. That's the thing. Justin,
mine are 20 minutes a piece, and I'll take 2 weeks with school and everything. I'll take 2 weeks to edit them, and then Brandon will just come in and he'll be like, all right, delete that one, delete that one, delete that video, delete that. It's so funny to watch.
Yeah, same thing with Kyle and I. I would have a clip that I kind of played naturally. There wasn't a whole lot of clips, and I would have a bunch of those throughout the video, and it would be a pretty long video. And Kyle would go in and just cut.
So we had some people chiming in here, and I'm going to say hello to my daughter Daniela, who's watching today. So hello to her.
Hi, Danielle.
So your background, guys. So Kyle, you're a numbers guy, an accounting degree from Lindenwood, and we used to beat up Lindenwood. I pulled at Moorhead, so we used to beat you guys all the time. So that's a little Moorhead state there, right at you guys there.
I love Moorhead.
Yeah, and we had our famous chant. I'm sure you know what I'm referring to before we started our matches.
I do.
Yeah.
So Brad, I don't have any info on you, your background. So if he's the numbers guy, do you have a background in communications or anything like this?
I have a business administration degree.
Okay.
So at least I have that.
So Brad Miller before the PBA was
I went to Lindenwood.
You went to Lindenwood, okay. So what were you doing before you went on tour? Before you decided that you were going to be?
So when I graduated college, I was bowling league with a guy, the traveling league of St. Louis. It was called the Metro City, or it was called something. Anyway, I was bowling with a guy named Neil Sanson, and he was a superintendent at a golf course. And I kind of needed a gig. I was going to go travel tour, but tour at that time was just World Series. And then there was an event in February. There was all this time off.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed a job. And so he's like, yeah, we're always hiring. So he hired me. And I worked there for 3 years as a grounds crew, mowing greens, changing cups,
So you're like Carl from Caddyshack.
Dude, I was everything. I loved it too, man. There's nothing better than mornings are early. We were 30 miles away from the golf course, me and my buddy who I lived with, and we had to be there at 6 a.m. So we left the house at like 5:15. But you get there before the sun rises, and then you hop on a mower, and you have your coffee, and you just watch the sunrise. No one's around. It's just like the most peaceful, beautiful like job you can have in the morning. I really loved it. And the afternoons were hard. We did a lot of like sod and cutting and laying and just a lot of like, I don't know, some harder labor. And I did that for 3 years. And it just got to the point where I was working 5 days a week, 6 to 2:30. I'd get home around like 4. We always worked a little late. And then on the weekends I would travel. So I'd get off work 2:30 on Friday, and I'd travel 4 or 5 hours to a regional. And after doing that, I'd catch up on sleep in the winters because we had winters off. But after doing that for like 3 years, I'd call my dad and I said, I can't do both. Like, I'm just spent. I'm not sleeping anymore. I need to find a way to sleep more. And so I moved home, and I haven't had a job since.
You're a professional athlete now. So
Yeah, I'm a professional athlete.
You're a professional athlete and a professional vlogger. Come on, don't make yourself short.
A professional vlogger. Doesn't it feel weird, Kyle, to be called a YouTuber?
Yeah, I actually get referred to more as that than even a bowler. People are like, "Oh, you're the YouTube guy." I do bowl on tour sometimes. I try.
So back to the whole vlog thing. Obviously, it's definitely a different atmosphere when you're trying to bowl and then have the camera in your hand. I know what it's like. My brother does too. But what is it like, especially with the other guys on tour? What do they think when you guys got the camera out or someone else is filming you guys, basically having a camera follow you around? What do they think, the other guys on tour?
They thought it was weird at first.
Yeah.
And it is weird. I mean, standing in front of people with a camera in your face, especially like now it's normal. Just because so many people are doing it worldwide, and like the people who are 30 and 40 who aren't super internet savvy, they're seeing it more and more, especially on tour. So with us, so it's definitely normal now. But at the beginning, it was even hard for us. Like when we're in a group of people, it's hard just to fire up the camera because everyone's going to be looking at you.
It's kind of like when the selfie stick first started, right?
Yeah, but I've always thought like these guys, like it shouldn't be. It's weird because you're holding, but it shouldn't be weird for these guys because this whole thing is entertainment, right? They just need cameras. Like if they should have cameras on them all the time, like post round interview, round interview. Like in a perfect world, the PBA should have cameras firing up everywhere. So it shouldn't be weird, but that wasn't necessarily the case. So yeah, it was definitely weird at the beginning, but now it's normal. People just hop in, dude. We'll fire up the camera and people will just come around the corner and sneak in. And that's exactly what we wanted because that just makes the content much better.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So let's get into talking about this thing called the house.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty crazy group of guys you have, right? And so I guess I'm in that 30 to 40 category where I'm kind of like losing sense of reality here. So tell us how the house came to be, who your house guests are, what your requirements in to become a house guest, and what would one have to be to become a house guest?
Yeah, I mean the house is just our buddies that we hang out with all the time that are in the videos, and we wanted to. I mean, like one of our main goals, if not the biggest goal, was to try to figure out a way to promote our buddies, build their brands, and just help facilitate that avenue. So the house guys now, I think we got 11 people in our house, and it's just. We tried to figure out like a brand to call everyone, and I forget how it even came about, but somehow we just like came up with the house. I think we may have been saying it a little bit, and then we're like, "That's it. Like we're the house." Requirements? Well, you don't have to be a good bowler because Brad didn't. So the bowling requirements go out the window. It's more so it's just our friend group. It's the guys that we're with all the time, the guys that we're grinding these tournaments in and out with. And it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, it's not really like an exclusive thing, but yet it is because it's the boys we hang out with. But now it's really cool because we built this brand, and the guys are really learning how to, optimize social media strategies and maybe build some revenue streams and then just grow their own fan base. So But it's been dope. I mean, it's been really cool. It's seen all the guys grow, learn, and it's been a cool experience. I'm really excited to see where it goes because it kind of sucked as soon as we got this whole house thing going. The PBA shut down, and it helps that most of the guys are really actually everyone's a really good bowler. So.
Oh, you finally got to give a little bit of credit there. All right, but
Yeah,
requirement
so
you can be a crappy player and still be a house guest. So
you can. I mean, hey over here.
We could use some really funny guys. So even if they suck, if they're hilarious, that would work.
Yeah, I guess the criteria is you have to be willing to be on camera. Like that's the only thing.
And anything goes with you guys. I'm guessing there. So.
Yeah.
God help us. All right.
So the next time the house is probably going to be together is the PBA League. If hopefully that happens. Brad, you were retained by the Kingpins, or Kyle was, sorry.
Yeah.
Brad, you're a free agent this year. What are your expectations for the PBA League? Do you think it's going to happen? And even the international players, I saw Flo Bowling did an interview with Belmo about how he doesn't think that, how he thinks that international players are going to have a different time, obviously with all the travel restraints. So basically, what are your expectations for the PBA League this year?
Yeah, so Maine doesn't open up until August 1st. The entire state doesn't open until August 1st. So it's going to be postponed regardless. We can't go to Maine in July. But how far after that? It's definitely going to run. It is for sure going to run. If the international players can't make it, the show's got to go on. It sucks, but that's just that's the way it has to be. That would be really weird because there's probably there's 50 people in the draft and 12, 13, 14 of them are international maybe. There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't know. The research I've been doing lately and the stuff I've been hearing about this COVID, it's maybe the world opens up fairly soon. Maybe not in places like New York that are super congested, but maybe we're going to see a quicker transition back to normal than we originally thought, because people were saying, it might last the entire year, schools might be closed, but I think from the stuff I'm hearing, it might be a little quicker than that. So hopefully come August, maybe we can put the PBA League in there. And then we've also got those other tournaments that we have to finish, the match plays, the Masters, the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I don't know, maybe come August, we can run the Lucy, the PBA League, some summer events, and then September, October, maybe run some more summer events, and then November, December, finish the season, and then start back up in January. Hopefully that'd be the case. Yeah, because if we can open up in August, there's plenty of tournaments we can bowl, summer events and league and Masters, and
everything's just going to get pushed back.
Yeah.
So I'm just assuming all fall and the beginning of winter, we're just going to be out traveling, bowling, not going to be home.
So back to the vlog here for a minute. You guys have obviously had a lot of crazy moments with the vlogs. Kyle winning your first title, even Chris Prather shooting 300 and calling it. So we want to know what both of your best vlogs are, or what you think happens to be your favorite one.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I mean the Chris Prather one where he shot the 300 is probably the craziest moment we've had in the vlog. It was just so weird. I mean, Chris is in last place. I know he just hit an easy pair, he just bowled on that pair, but they're pretty hard. They're not easy whatsoever. And he's doing his little trick where he's doing this twirl loft thing, and for one, the craziest part about it was he wasn't exactly repeating shots. There was 3 or 4 shots in there that were didn't think they had a chance to strike, and then somehow they did. So that whole thing, and then we're all right next to each other. I'm bowling right next to him. All our buddies were there. That was pretty crazy. That was what just happened? And then to get it on camera, that's the cool part about the vlog. Why we film so much is because when you get some moments like that happening, people really enjoy it.
All right, so our best vlog is the Belmont Bulls one-handed. That one's kind of special, but that was the last vlog of the week, and the next vlog we did was the freezing ice bath challenge, which was hilarious. But the video tanked. It didn't tank, but it didn't do as well as the other ones. and Mikey is in the thumbnail with no shirt on. It's just hilarious.
Brandon keeps asking me about doing that. He wants to put me and him in an ice bath. I'm like, that's stealing their idea. He's like, no, but we can still do it.
You should do that at your father's tournament this year. They put Parker in a dunk tank last year.
Oh my God.
Junior tournament. Maybe we could put Parker in like an ice bucket thing or like a pool of ice this year.
That water was pretty cold.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can get much colder than an ice bath with that water.
People are extremely vulnerable when they're in an ice bath. You can get any information.
Oh yeah. You're interrogating them at 32 degrees and anything goes, right?
Yeah. So one of my favorite vlogs is the one that Chris Braith won 100,000 at the Tournament of Champions this year. And actually, we were there for the show. Kyle left. I don't know where Kyle went. I was with Prather and Packy, and I wasn't even gonna vlog that day. He was fifth. He was the first of the matches, and so the odds of him winning were going to be fairly slim. And the lineup was just killer. So nothing against Prather, but I thought, the chances of him winning this tournament are pretty low. So I was extremely tired of filming and editing at that point. So I wasn't going to film. And then he got to the title match, and that's where I picked the vlog up. And that ended up being a really good vlog. And the next one after that was the Packy took his pants off vlog. Do you remember that time? And that one didn't do very good either.
I have no comment.
So, Mike, before we get to your next question, I actually have one that I just thought about.
Fire away.
Do you guys go back and watch your own vlogs? Like, do you go back and watch like really old ones from time to time? Like, do you have a favorite one that you'll go back and watch?
No,
So we've been posting them like through this quarantine just to like repurpose some content and just put some stuff out there. We've been reposting them on Instagram.
Yeah.
On our Instagram. And the cool thing about it is like half the vlogs, I forget the moments we had. So it's like when we talk about like a favorite vlog, they're really all cool because we can go relive these moments that we saw, and it's just like this little just time capsule of everything that happens, and you forget something and like, oh yeah, we did that or we did this. So you've been watching them, and it's pretty cool because half the stuff I forgot, and I'm like, that was awesome.
Well, they are hits, and we love them. So at the end of every show that we do here, I take over, and I have 10 random questions. Basically, anything goes. We want some real meat. We don't want nothing sugar-coated. We want some dirt. So I got 10 questions, and I want to see if you guys are up for the challenge.
Okay. All right, bring it.
All right, Justin, we ready?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
We'll start off kind of easy. Number one, what's one tournament you guys would want to win in your career? Nice and easy one to start.
Yeah, I think mine has to be the US. Mine's the US Open, but it pays like crap, so like I really don't want to win. Like I'd rather win the TOC.
Yeah.
But like if we're just going off prestige, I'd want to win the US Open.
All right. So we got one for the Open. Mr. Miller?
It's a toss-up between.
Obviously, it's not the Roth-Holman doubles. Throwing that out.
Not the Roth-Holman. I mean, who wants to win that tournament?
Yeah, seriously, you don't want a banner on tour. Why would you want that?
Yeah. I mean, why would you want your first child to be a doubles?
Yeah, exactly.
You got to wait for it to be a singles.
Yeah, you got to be selfish, right?
Yeah, you can't be like Kyle, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because then people say you got to have a title. And
you carried somebody to the finish line. You don't want that.
It's a mix-up between, there's the Players Championship. For some reason, I've got like a soft spot for the Players just because I love that place, Columbus Bowl. The Tournament of Champions would be nice to at least bowl the dang thing.
Yeah.
And then
who gets to bowl that?
the playoffs would be pretty good too. I'd like to win the playoffs. Actually, we'll just go playoffs number one.
All right. Number two, you guys are out to dinner with a bunch of your tour buddies. Who's the one guy who sneaks off to beat the bill?
It's Mitch.
No doubt about it.
We've actually got a story about that.
Please share it.
Go ahead.
Share it.
Where are we, Kyle? We're in.
I don't know the story.
You don't know the story.
Is it? You talking about Kuwait?
Kuwait, yeah, it's Kuwait.
Yeah, we were in Kuwait.
And Mitch just won like 20 grand with this purple hammer that he's had for 5 years that he just crushes everybody with. And he wanted Chapman to take the ball home because he had no spot in his bag anymore. He had a 3-ball bag or something. He couldn't bring the ball back to the United States. So he wanted Chapman to do it. Well, in order for Chapman to take that ball, he had to put another ball of his away and leave it in Kuwait. And so he wanted some money. He wanted like, hey, can you like throw me $50 to transport this ball or something? And Mitch is like, no. I mean, I like, why would I give you $50? And then so it became a little bit like a debate. And Mitch finally got fed up with Chapman, and he bought everybody dinner. And it was like we're at dinner, and no one even knew. Like,
He snuck it in there.
Mitch got irritated at everybody, and he left the dinner table because he had to go to the airport. He was flying home with Tommy Jones. And he left the dinner table, and then that's the last we saw of Mitch. And the next thing, the waitress comes over, and our bill was paid, and we were all just like, yeah.
It's a good one.
That's awesome.
Right.
He's definitely the most frugal.
Frugal.
Okay.
You're being polite. You're not calling him cheap. You're calling him frugal. Very good. I like that. All right. Number 3. When was the last time you guys partied like, I'm not even going to say a rock star. You partied like Rob Gronkowski.
There was a party at the Hall of Fame Classic this year on our last day before we went to Oklahoma. That was a pretty fun one.
Yeah.
Same one there, Kyle?
Did we party in Oklahoma? I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. So like when we're on tour, we really don't party or drink a whole lot. I know there's been times where like Brad and I will go like a month, 2 months without a beer.
Well, not even saying like on tour, like in a personal, like no parties like at home or anything like that, where you've pulled them.
I mean, I was in the bar last night, so.
All right, let's go to the next one. Who's the one tour veteran you would love to bring into the house?
Norm.
That was easy.
That was quick.
That was very fast.
I really enjoy spending time around that guy.
And why is that? Just the knowledge, or is he just?
Yeah, you become a better person hanging out with him. He'll tell you stories about back in the day, and he'll give you knowledge. Like, for example, it's possible for someone to think that two-handed bowling is much harder to beat than a traditionalist in today's game. You can think that, given the tiny little advantages it has. But Norm thinks, let them all be two-handed. They won't win again. And that's just a cool mentality. You get the really confident vibe when you're around him. He's got the experience and the knowledge. And it just, without him really like saying it, he just says it. And I like being around. It makes me better.
So you think you could put Norm in an ice bath? Think he could go like that?
That would be great.
He might actually.
All right, Kyle, what's your guy then?
It's mine's for a completely different reason. It's got like I have 3. It's Bill, Tommy, or Belmo just for the roast sessions. Like I just love going at those guys, and more so them coming at like all of us, because it's just like you're fighting an uphill battle. Like they're the best of all time, and you really have nothing over them. But they're fun. It's just the roast sessions, just the content, the conversations.
Like you're going to give it to them, and they're giving it right back to you in the same sense.
Yeah, like you'll say something to them, and then they roast you 10 times harder. But it's a valiant effort trying. Like it's definitely always fighting a losing battle, especially if they're all together.
Yeah,
then you're screwed. Like you better just hit the sidelines because you ain't winning.
They've got that camaraderie of all those years on Team USA and all those years on tour together that you just can't. You can't go after them enough.
It's tough.
Right.
You can't beat them.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. What's your most embarrassing moment on tour? And I never bowled on tour. I bowled the U.S. Open a couple times, and I have one that I'll share after you guys give yours, and mine's pretty funny.
Embarrassing moment, man. That's tough.
Well, Kyle broke a monitor this year.
On purpose?
I did not break it. It was broke before I hit it. was a little embarrassing because the owner was right behind me. Like I just gave this thing just a little love tap. Like I was pissed, whatever it was. I hit it and I noticed the monitor was off, and I was shoot, like whatever. And this was in Shawnee. Went to the owner. And I was like, hey man, broke your monitor. Sorry. Let me know how much it is. And he's like, and he's super cool.
Chris Skillings, yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's like, nah, don't worry about the monitor. Let me worry about that. You worry about bowling. And then I get a text from one of my buddies who was watching the live stream, and he sent me a video, and the monitor was actually broke before I hit it. So I was like, whew, well, I don't know if I'm out of the clear or not, but I did not break it. I did hit it, but I did not break it.
All right, Mr. Miller.
Whiffing the it's gotta be number one.
Do you know of one? Do you know any like stupid things that I've done, Kyle?
Yeah, you missed a 4-pin for us to win.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, probably okay. The first one definitely was embarrassing, but the second one was just not. It's not the right spot to miss a 4-pin. Like you're neck and neck with this team, the team that eventually won, and we're up 1-0, and you're in the 8th. I'm in the 8th frame or the 7th frame, and I miss this 4-pin, and now we're down on wood. And Westmont struck out to win, and then they ended up beating the next game too. That was just not. I mean, West doubled, and he would have needed to double if I made that 4-pin, but instead he only needed the first one, so it may not have made a difference. But yeah, both those 4-pins just suck, man. Like, why can't they just be in like the first frame or something?
All right,
They move, don't they?
Yeah, moving targets, right?
They always move.
So I'm going to give you.
I promise that one in the PBA league, I'm sitting up there and I'm standing in my normal spot that I normally stand, and I'm looking at this 4-pin, and I don't know how to pick it. It's like I just don't know it's like it just left my brain. I'm literally going through the exact motion that I normally would go at, and I don't really ever miss 4-pins. And I'm looking at this thing like, maybe I should like aim this way. And I'm changing how I pick a 4-pin because I remember missing the last one to the right. So I stay in the same spot, and I just make sure that I don't miss it right, and I miss it left. And it was so weird. The amount of stuff that went through my head just looking at that 4-pin, it was actually as if it was moving. It's like I'm over here trying to figure out another way to make
You feel like you're on the Wii, basically.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
I'm going to give you mine. So mine happened to me twice. So I said earlier, I bowled at college for Moorhead. And my first college tournament, we bowled at a place called the Brickyard, Indianapolis. And I don't even know if it's still standing. So in the third game on Saturday, we were bowling on a pair with Vincennes, and Ronnie Russell was on the pair with us. And I throw a shot, I come back, and I'm at the ball return. Ronnie's next to me. He goes, hey, partner, why don't you look down? I said, what are you talking about? And I look down, I split my pants. So from my zipper, like down to like the middle of my thigh is ripped. So I was bowling well, and I'm like, all right, so what am I going to do? Throw the next shot. Ronnie comes back, and he has a stapler he got from the front counter, and Ronnie Russell is standing there stapling up my khakis for me. Now, let's fast forward like 3 or 4 years later. I'm bowling the Open at Carolier like 2005 or 2006, and we're in practice session, just practicing, and I'm on a pair with Jeff Carter, and throw a couple shots, and I'm at the ball return, and Jeff goes to me, hey, man, do you feel a draft or anything? I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I look down, and it's from my crotch to my knees are just completely ripped. So I got about 15 minutes of practice in, and I learned that when you bowl a tournament like the Open or a tour stop, you always have another pair of pants in the paddock. And I didn't. So, yeah, I ripped my pants twice bowling. So there's mine. So, all right. So you're sitting on the bench. Your opponent needs 3 to beat you in the 10th by a pin. Who don't you want to see up in that spot?
Yeah. It's gotta be. I mean, I don't really want Tommy up there.
Tommy Jones?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Guys got to go 3 in the 10th. Who's the
I mean, I definitely don't want Pete.
Yeah.
Really?
The guy's just got another tunnel vision that other people don't have. It's like when something's on the line, he just enters this zone. Maybe not anymore. Like as of right now, maybe Pete's not my answer, even though I still wouldn't want him to.
It's all right. So, number 9, who's the one retired bowler that you would love to compete against on tour?
Mark Roth.
Just for the simple fact he kind of changed the game, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason.
It would have been awesome to. I mean, he's just revolutionized everything. So to go against that would be pretty awesome. But also seeing any like the really old guys for me, seeing like the dominance of. I mean, I know Walter's not retired, but seeing him in his dominance, we hear the stories, but obviously when we got on tour, he's older, can't compete as well, and it would have just been cool to live out those stories that people tell of he beat us from 5, and then the next week he's loft in the gutter and he beat us again. And when you see him now, you're like, there's no way that happened. But
it's almost like the generation today, and Justin, I'm gonna say like people your age, like they don't like the guys like even your dad and Walter, like they never existed because the kids today they never saw them. It's like what they did 20 or 30 years ago never existed. You know what I mean?
Right.
What about you there, Mr. Miller? Who's your one guy?
Dick Weber would be cool. I'd like to see Dick Weber. Probably Dick. I was gonna say someone like Ernie Schlegel, just because I'm kind of obsessed with people playing really straight because I'm not good at it and I want to learn how to do it. And I watch Norm do it, and I can't even play as straight as Norm. And he goes, "I'm not even playing straight. You should see Ernie Schlegel bowl." And I'm like, okay, I think I want to see Ernie Schlegel bowl because that's got to be straight.
Yeah, he was kind of straight and a full roller too.
Seriously?
Yeah, he was a full roller. Yeah.
Like, how does that win titles in today's environment? There's no way that would win titles.
Ask Randy.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Ask Randy how he wins a title playing straight. See what
Randy Lightfoot?
Oh, Peterson.
Oh, Peterson.
Well, that's the infamous when Randy left the solid 8. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this is my last one. All right, you guys, both of you're bowling in the title match of the U.S. Open. You need either a strike to win or shoot a 4-pin to win the U.S. Open. What's easier?
4-pin, of course.
No way, dude. No way.
It's not even.
You say that until you're Mika missed a 10-pin in the 10th frame at the U.S. Open.
Bro, I'm shooting the 4.
He had probably missed 10-pin in 2 years.
It's statistically easier.
Yeah,
to take a 4-pin.
Go out the window, brah.
I know.
You're looking at a 4-pin for the title. All that room to the right.
A lot of landscaping there to the right.
I know.
So, guys, you survived the 10 questions. So, what's on the schedule for you both? I mean, you guys are doing your shows and you're vlogging. If everything's up and lifted, full schedule ahead for you guys once everything is back to normal on tour?
Ready to rock whenever.
Yeah, I'm actually bowling some tournaments. Like I said, I got one this Sunday. And then we have a really cool tournament at the end of May that we're actually going to be streaming on our YouTube channel. It's called the Midnight Bowler Society, where I think we have 19 people signed up. Where we all put up $1,000 each, and we just bowl pot games for 8 games.
Oh, nice. So
winner takes, I think, first place. I think we pay first and second. Depends how many entries we get. But first pays like $1,700. Second pays like $850 or somewhere like on that. And then you just play 8 games, and we do a Calcutta with it, and it's an awesome event. And the field's pretty stacked. I mean, EJ's coming to bowl, Andrew Anderson, bunch of good lefties. I think Holloman, Gene Perez, we're bowling. And then last year, this guy Ryan Burks crushed it. You guys probably don't even know who Ryan Burks is, but I wasn't there. I had to dip. I don't know what happened, but he crushed it last year. Won like 4 games, so made $4,000, $5,000 on the night. and it's a really cool event. So super cool.
Yeah, the first year was 10 games. The second year, which was last year, we only bowled 8 games. I've bowled 18 games in this stupid event, and I've got 2 200s, and my highest is 204.
And you know what? And that's the one question I didn't ask you, Justin. You should have flagged me on that one. I had asked this to everybody I talked to. What's the one center you guys love bowling out on tour, and the one you hate bowling out on tour?
Oh, we forgot that one.
Yeah, and I know what Brad's is going to be Columbus, obviously.
Yeah,
earlier.
No, Brad,
like
yours has
Oklahoma,
to be
too.
Shawnee. Yeah, yours has to be Shawnee.
Yeah, but
You made 2 shows in your life.
yeah, I know, but I've bowled at Shawnee a lot. Actually, I have bowled well at Shawnee throughout my career. It's Shawnee or Players. I just like the Players, though. It's a major. And
what about the one you guys hate? And we've talked to a bunch of guys, and the same one kind of keeps coming up, Justin, if you've noticed that.
Yes, it has.
Jonesboro.
No.
It wasn't that one.
Coldwater.
A center in the Midwest.
I love Coldwater, but it's not that center.
I love both those venues, and I love both those tournaments. I just don't bowl good in those tournaments.
It is not those places. It is a center in the Midwest.
In the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in Indy? Or
It is Indy.
Yeah.
People hate Indy?
Woodland.
Ah.
See, I have no superstitions or about centers that I like or don't like. I don't know. I guess I'm not in that category, but I'll definitely have, like, I'll bowl bad at a center, and next year I'll bowl really good at a center.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know. I just either I figure it out or I don't. I don't really have a least favorite one because I think I've had success and I haven't had success. I feel like in all of them. So
what's been your worst tournament so far on tour? What was the worst performance you've had?
Worst performance. I don't know, man. It was gonna be Jonesboro, or was it? Yeah, it was gonna be Jonesboro. Then I crushed it the second set.
Oh yeah, you did. You almost got there.
Last place.
Yep, I remember that.
Me, you, and Stu. We were literally the bottom 3, and then I went apeshit for like 4 games and got back up there. But I don't know. What is it's got to be Coldwater. I really don't like the Coldwater Center, actually. I bowl like crap there. You know, I know it's hard. It's kind of cool to do it, but if I don't go back and bowl there just because of my performances, I'm cool with it. I suck, though.
And that was funny. We talked to Steve Hoskins a couple weeks ago, and Steve said that from the 3 or 4 years, I think it was, he hated going to Rochester to bowl. Hated going to Rochester. And coincidentally, he went back and shot 300 on TV in that building, won the title. The next year, he finished second. Norm tripped the bucket to beat him in the 10th. He goes, so it's funny how, like, you know, in the beginning of my career, I hated going there. And then all of a sudden now I can't wait until Rochester comes up on the calendar. But I have the noodles there. Like, it just fits. So, yeah, but Woodland Bowl is the answer that everybody, a majority of the people, just hate bowling at.
I think me and Brad have both done pretty well there the last 2 years. I mean,
which one?
Woodland.
Oh, Woodland. Yeah. No, yeah. Woodland's all right.
Well,
they say it's very hard to carry there.
It is. The 10-pin is kind of brutal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bowled in college. There was always like bowling against like a tree.
There's so much friction in the early part of the lane that like your ball just burns up, but you get to hook it there, and I like to hook it, so I'm with it.
Understandable. Justin, I'm good. I have nothing else. What about you, my friend?
I think I'm all good. I think it's going to wrap up our show today. Thank you guys, Brad Miller and Kyle Sherman. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Bowl for Life and Bowlage.com. That's going to wrap up our show today. I'm Justin Bohn with Mike Val. Thank you for being on the lanes, off the charts, and on the mic. Be sure to tune us in on Thursday. We have Doug Kent and Jimmy Callahan, and at 6 o'clock, it's definitely going to be a good one. So everyone stay safe during quarantine.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands, and we hope to see you all real soon back on the lanes.
Take care, everybody. Thank you.
See ya.